You're watching the nation's #1 pro wrestling alternative. You know it, you love it, so do we. NWA Wildside. Thank you for joining us. Stephen Prazak along with Dan, the Dragon Wilson. Dan? What's that smell? Dan, you stepped in a big steaming pile of sports entertainment. Go clean up. Cleanliness is next to godliness, so Jeff Bailey tells me. Last week here on NWA Wildside, you saw the Wildside heavyweight champion, the messiah of the spine buster, David Young, somehow managing to retain his title in a match against nothing less than 600 pounds of no-pain train Iceberg. Yes, the time limit expired. That's some chicanery there, if you don't mind me telling you. However, the end result is that the champion, David Young, was left laying, along with his friends AJ Styles and Tank. And the ticking time bomb, Scotty Wren, left handcuffed to the bottom turnbuckle. It was a rough night for the Wildside heavyweight champion. An amazing edition of Wildside, though. That was last week. If I can get Dan back in here, are you all cleaned up now, my man?
Yeah, I washed it off with a big heaping bucket of Wildside Pro Wrestling. You heard of it? That's what we do here.
A heaping bucket.
Tonight, your main event, the Wildside heavyweight title on the line. The messiah of the spine buster, David Young, defends the title that he fought 12 years for against the role model Jason Cross in the rematch of a match that turned a lot of heads. Controversial ending to the last matchup. Jason Cross appeared to be the heavyweight champion thanks to interference from Blackout. Bill Behrens restarted the match. David Young hit the spine buster and picked up the 1, 2, 3, 10 night. The rematch. It's gonna happen. Set your VCRs and don't go anywhere.
Yes, sir.
You know, ever since we've reunited as a tag team, the only thing we've asked for is a match against the Lost Boys. And have we received it yet? No. In fact, every time the Lost Boys wrestle, Bill Behrens stands in the back with us and says if we interfere in their match, we're gonna be fired. You know, what are you afraid of, Bill? Are you afraid that we might get what is rightfully ours? Are you afraid that we might get our payback? And then tonight, we've been given Jimmy Rave and Jeremy Lopez. You know, you two have been feuding for months. What makes you think that you can put your differences aside long enough to get a 3 count on TNT? Well, I'll tell you what, it's not gonna happen. And to be perfectly honest with you, we could care less about either of you. But since you're all that we've got, we're gonna make a little bit of an example out of you. And Lost Boys, I know you're gonna be watching. So I want you to stop cutting yourselves for a second and watch close. I want you to put your retarded heads right up against the TV screen. And I want you to see what's gonna happen. Because when I take my foot and I jam it into Jimmy Rave's chin, I'm not thinking about Jimmy Rave. I'm thinking about Gabriel. And when we pick up Lopez and we drive his head right into the mat, we're not thinking about Lopez. We're thinking about Azrael.
In a way, Lost Boys, you should be flattered. Because tonight, this match is dedicated to you.
Introducing first, from San Antonio, Texas, at a total combined weight of 417 pounds, Tony Stradlin, head coach,
TNT have turned their back on literally everything and everybody that got them to the game. And they feel that despite their best efforts, tag team champions for brief periods of time, single champions for brief periods of time, that they're not getting the respect that they're due. However, tonight's a show of perhaps earned respect. And Jeremy Lopez at one time. Jeremy Lopez, of course, holding on to that junior heavyweight championship title longer than any other competitor in Wildside history. Almost half a year. But tonight, Lopez is teamed with a man he's fought with on numerous occasions, the original XTC. However, the only thing that I believe that Lopez and Jimmy Rave possibly have in common is a mutual hatred for the team of TNT. Uh-oh, Jeremy Lopez with the mic. There go the ratings. Former valedictorian of his high school team? No. I jest, of course. Jeremy Lopez professing his dislike for everybody in the ring, including his own tag team partner, Jimmy Rave. That should be no big news there, but the fact remains, it is a tag team encounter here at Wildside. There's going to have to be some level of cooperation between Lopez and Rave. And according to Lopez's opening statements, that doesn't seem like there may be a lot there.
I don't believe him for a second. Coming from the walking plutonium rod of charisma, Jeremy Lopez. Side headlock by Jimmy Rave.
Been waiting a week to say that, haven't you? Plutonium rod of charisma.
Stradlin sends him off the rope. Shoulder tackle. Down goes Stradlin. TNT have been calling out the Lost Boys in the tag division, but they got their hands full with Jimmy Rave when they decided to jump him to prove their point against the fans here in Wildside, to prove their point against the promoters, the officials, the championship committee here in Wildside as to why they were being overlooked. Tony Stradlin coming to the outside. Jimmy Rave goes for it. Stradlin up on the second rope, back into the ring. Beautiful maneuver. Shoulder tackle to the midsection of Stradlin. Rave coming up to the top. Jimmy Rave looks like he's going to fly. High crossbody.
Perfectly executed the airborne original XTC onto the body of Tony Stradlin. Oh! A shot to the cods would stop anything.
The great equalizer. Big chop by Todd Sexton.
It's a chopathon, courtesy of Jimmy Rave and Todd Sexton.
There's a chop for Stradlin and a rake to the eye. Stopped all that.
Got chops for everybody.
Duckman elbow there. Jimmy Rave catches Sexton. Sends him off the ropes. Drop kick to the shin. That was one of the... Oh my goodness! Shining Inzaguri.
That shot right to the ear of Todd Sexton was going to do a number on the balance of Sexton. I think Lopez and Rave definitely need to zoom in for the kill here. Sexton is in rough shape.
Boot to the midsection by Jeremy Lopez. Roaring elbow by the Wildside Junior Heavyweight Champion. Lateral press fell to a leg. He's still a cocky little bastard.
Fair enough, but there's been quite a level of cooperation between Lopez and Rave that nobody would have ever guessed.
That is very true.
I hope it continues on.
Neckbreaker by Jeremy Lopez after a simple boot to the mush to the side of the head of Todd Sexton.
Lopez and Rave are doing great, and this is the first time they've ever teamed. And I mean, TNT, this has been a tag team, for seemingly forever here at Wildside.
Jeremy Lopez catches Todd Sexton. Tilt-a-wall side Uranagi by Jeremy Lopez.
Straddling in to break up the pin attempt.
Reversal there by Sexton. Stradlin went for a knee to Lopez's midsection. Lopez counter-dip, but he turned around with a mouthful of a Todd Sexton super kick.
I mean, interestingly, we're talking about Jeremy Lopez, who in many ways is the king of dirty tricks here at Wildside. And TNT, as we've seen here in recent weeks, have no shortage of dirty tricks up their sleeves. So interesting little countering between both TNT as well as Jeremy Lopez.
Elbows to the back of the head by Lopez. TNT working it. Oh my goodness. Spinning kick to the face of Jeremy Lopez. However, he was fortunate enough to get his hands up.
Lopez collapses in a heap. Double team time from TNT and a pair of elbows. Oh,
Nagasatoru Senton. Beautiful cooperation by Tony and Todd.
Lopez is feeling quite a lot of punishment from Todd Sexton at the moment.
Phenomenal drop kick by Todd Sexton. Their new attitudes are horrible, but you still can't deny that they're one of the most cohesive
innovative and talented tag teams in the industry today.
And successful, even if they don't have the long championship reigns that they believe they deserve.
Well, that's what they're trying to fix when they're calling out the Lost Boys week after week. They're just hoping that they're going to goad the Lost Boys into giving them a title shot. They stepped on the feet of Jimmy Rave, now they got to deal with him. They better put the Lost Boys on the back burner, because if Jeremy Lopez and Jimmy Rave are a cohesive unit, TNT is going to be in a lot of trouble, because what a challenge that is. And if they lose, they're certainly going to be knocked down in the rankings, and that tag team title shot that they're crying about is not going to come along anytime soon.
And that would make them make it even more ornery. Another picture-perfect drop kick onto the face of the junior heavyweight champ.
2 count only. Irish whip by Tony Stradlin. Lopez counter, sunset flip, pinning combination, tag made into Todd Sexton.
A blind tag, unfortunately, for Jeremy Lopez.
Todd Sexton, big right hand there on Jeremy Lopez. Wildside Junior Heavyweight Champion's in a lot of trouble. He goes sternum first. Into the turnbuckle, German suplex with a bridge by Sexton. Lopez kicks out right as Rave makes the save.
Lopez has obviously been taking the brunt of the punishment. Interestingly, in tag team settings, Jimmy Rave almost inevitably seems to be the one who faces the most amount of grief from his competitors, without a doubt. Interesting to see Lopez, that shoe on that foot.
Rolling senton, or rolling fireman's carry. Excuse me, Tony Stradlin went up for a spinning corkscrew senton. Didn't get the job done because he stutter stepped. He lost his footing on the second rope.
The crowd is cheering Jeremy Lopez. I believe the world has stopped spinning on its axis.
Gets to make a phone call. Oh wow, hell throws over. Tag made in to Jimmy Rave. The original ecstasy gets countered by Sexton. Monkey flip. No, Sexton lands on his feet. Goes for that super kick. Rave catches him with a clothesline. Beautiful counter. He counters Stradlin's super kick with another clothesline.
Oh, look, that didn't take long at all. How about that?
You knew that was going to happen.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Totally uninvited. There was no reason in the world why Lopez should have done that to his own tag team partner. I mean, Lopez has issues with TNT. And by taking out his own tag team partner, he's leaving him unresolved. This Lopez, what a character.
Elevated DDT.
Yeah.
By Jeremy Lopez onto Jimmy Rave, leaving him for dead in here.
Yeah, thanks, Lopez. We have your agent's phone number. We'll be in touch. And now TNT doubling up on the fallen Jimmy Rave. Remind me never to invite Jeremy Lopez over for dinner.
It looks like TNT's going to put poor Jimmy Rave away. If they hit the cradle spike pile driver on the steel chair, this young kid's career, no matter how resilient, may be over. It's the Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys cleaning house, and Todd and Tony, they split. In fact, that breeze you're feeling, that is a TNT heading for the north. Azrael and Gabriel out here in the nick of time.
Well, I guess the constant calling out, the constant goading of TNT onto the Lost Boys has finally propelled them to come out and do something about it. Just shut them up.
Serves them right. If you're going to make those kind of noises in front of the Lost Boys, prepare to pay the price. And TNT, they head for the higher ground.
Just got the official decision from Andrew Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, the official decision, a no contest.
Coming up next, the Italian Monster. That's how it's pronounced, Italian, right?
Italian.
Tony Mamaluke meets up with Onyx. It's next here in Wildside.
Introducing first, the coming to the ring by Terry Knight tonight. From Rome, Italy, weighing at 2,476 pounds, the Italian Monster, Tony Mamaluke.
The new FBI knocking around ring announcer Dan Wilson. He didn't deserve that. Well, not yet, he doesn't. Tony Mamaluke and Terry Knightonelli, who's about as Italian as Dan the Dragon Wilson. We're going to have to tell our handheld camera guy to zoom back a little bit to be able to fit the shoulders of ONYX into the picture. What a physical specimen this man ONYX is, and a Wildside staple for about a good year and a half now. An amazing athlete, and a powerhouse in so many respects. Usually when you have like this incredible specimen of muscles you see before you as ONYX, it's so much you see him probably. You see somebody like that in the airborne capacity that we see ONYX in so often.
And ONYX, throughout his tremendous tenure here in Wildside, has not lost one cheer. He's not lost one fan response. ONYX is one of the most popular athletes to ever grace the NCW arena, and that's because he deserves it. He's ripped to shreds. He's built like a brick, you know what? He is the genetic freak of Wildside, and the people absolutely love him.
And I can't help to think that Tony Mamaluke's going to be ripped to shreds after ONYX tears him apart. And Mamaluke has decided to take a break from the action. What action, little action we've seen so far? A bit of a tete-a-tete between Mamaluke and the Terry Knight Nelly. Terry Knight Nelly. I'll never get tired of saying that.
Terry Knight Nelly, a biscuits and gravy type of Italian.
From the Italian section of Asheville.
The Italian monster.
That he is.
Giving the Italian salute to ONYX.
And there's the ONYX salute. You tell me which one has the more power. I'll pick the ONYX one. What do you think? I'll go out on a limb on that.
And it looks like Mamaluke's a little frustrated. It's no secret that Mamaluke's had a chip on his shoulder. He's got the biggest chip of anybody I know.
Yeah, but there's no bigger shoulders, though, than ONYX.
That is true. That is true. The chip on his shoulder is that, one of the many, is that muscular individuals, people like ONYX that are ripped to shreds, that take such great care of their body, and Tony Mamaluke's no physical slouch. But ONYX, when you're just that beefed up, when you're that huge, the people will automatically take a liking to you, and it's really griped Tony Mamaluke. He's used references like Lex Luger in the past, for people getting far more attention than they deserve just because of their body, over more talented wrestlers, technicians like himself.
Oh, that's a damn shame, because Tony Mamaluke, despite a ridiculous attitude and just probably has some major psychological problems, he's quite a gifted wrestler. But sometimes that's all very much obscured by the bizarre way he handles himself and treats his body here in the rings of NWA Wildside.
And we know Mamaluke, a student of the Malenko Dojo, has mat wrestling down to a T. And he can twist you, bend you up, tie you up in a pretzel, any shape you like. He's that talented when it comes to the mat.
And interestingly, Mamaluke's size is rather deceptive. A lot of people think going to the ring with Tony Mamaluke would be a bit of a cakewalk, and Mamaluke will beg to differ, and more often than not, he's right.
He's got heart, he's got guts, and he's tough as nails. That still doesn't change the fact that he's an arrogant twit.
And he's about to find out firsthand what he's walked into this evening against the man with the most massive torso in pro wrestling. It's ONYX.
Mamaluke trying to take out the arms of ONYX, and that's probably the best thing to do. If he doesn't have those arms, he's not going to have that power arsenal. He's not going to be able to throw you around. Both men going for a drop kick, stand up.
You know, most normal athletes would be knocked out by a missed drop kick. Both here, Mamaluke and ONYX on their feet and alert. A testament to the quality of athlete we grow here at NWA Wildside.
Well, the bar raised so high here in Wildside, guys like ONYX, like Mamaluke, have to know a counter to every counter to every counter to every counter's counter. Because if you don't, then you're going to end up a loser. You're not going to make it in NWA Wildside. ONYX with a death grip of a side headlock with those massive arms on the head of Tony Mamaluke. Mamaluke wriggles free, sends him off the ropes, shoulder tackle. Tony Mamaluke goes down like a ton of bricks, or maybe an eighth of a ton.
There's no bigger ton of bricks than ONYX.
Up and over goes ONYX. Mamaluke goes for a leapfrog, bear hug, overhead, belly-to-belly suplex, and ONYX set on Mamaluke's head in the process. Tony Mamaluke kicks out.
Have to dig down deep to pull that baby off. And a big reminder to all wrestling fans throughout this United States to definitely catch NWA TNA weekly Wednesday nights on in-demand pay-per-view. As a matter of fact, you'll be seeing one of Wildside staples, AJ Styles.
Yes, we will.
As well as recently signed David Young to NWA TNA. Of course, we still have him week after week here at Wildside as well. And I think we're the lucky ones.
Terry Knight going to work. Terry Knight Tonelli, excuse me. I forgot about his recently found Italian heritage. He's going to work on ONYX on the outside.
Wouldn't mind it being lost again. Of course, it's added quite a lot to the psychological profile of Terry Knight, which is pretty much as thin as a potato chip.
Mamaluke signaling for the end. Going for that high angle back suplex. ONYX wasn't budging, but he locks him in a reverse Fujiwara armbar. And ONYX is in a lot of pain.
Have you ever seen ONYX concede? I haven't. Don't think it's possible. Mamaluke hopes to change that this evening in your semi-main event. Our NWA Wildside coming up next. David Young puts that Wildside Heavyweight Championship on the line against Jason Cross. You got a VCR, crank that baby up. This one's going to be a keeper. Boy, just slaps across the back of the head of ONYX.
It takes a lot of grapefruits to do that.
Yeah, and a death wish. Grapefruits and a death wish.
European uppercut there by Mamaluke reversal. ONYX using the power to his better. Mamaluke goes up and over using his agility. Side rush and leg sweep. And he's got him tied up in a pretzel.
Mamaluke trying to bend ONYX's head the direction it's not supposed to go, and ditto that right arm. Mamaluke believes that ONYX tapped out.
ONYX did not tap out.
Actually, Mamaluke was maneuvering around ONYX's arm in order to make it appear like it's a tap out. Referee Andrew Thomas happily realizing that was not the case.
Dragon sleeper applied by Mamaluke. ONYX comes up over his back there. He catches him. There's the blackout.
End of story for Tony Mamaluke. Andrew Thomas in. Wait a second. Andrew Thomas sees Terry Knight dropping an elbow on his own part, on his own man. Terrific. And a blackout on Terry Knight and Ellie.
Unbelievable, ONYX.
Excellent.
And there's another for good measure on the Italian monster. And ONYX with the victory.
Woo, a blackout clinic from ONYX.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, ONYX.
He had his hands full with Mamaluke out, and as Terry Knight with a chair careening to the back of the head of ONYX. Taking the concept of sore loser to new heights here, Terry Knight Nelly, along with his FBI partner, Tony Mamaluke.
The Southern Fried Italian, Terry Knight. And the crowd says it all.
Couldn't you possibly take your loss with a bit of dignity? Apparently dignity is not part of the of Terry Knight and Nelly's psychological profile here at all. Absurd.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. And what is this? And Terry Knight and Nelly, he's now a referee. Great. Career diversification. Oh, check that. Here comes G-Rated with a pair of chairs. And the new FBI have decided to head for safer ground.
Wow. Major cojones from G-Rated coming out here to make a save against the FBI.
Hey, G-Rated have been jerked around for quite some time.
Maybe the kids are finally growing up. Maybe they're not going to take anymore.
Well, they're certainly not. They're not. Kudos to Kid Ecstasy and Kid Cool coming to the aid of ONYX. As the FBI were dishing out some heavy-duty punishment. However, coming up next, it's one for the VCRs. Last I checked, David Young puts his Wildside Heavyweight Championship on the line against the role model, Jason Cross. It's next.
On June 19th, professional wrestling changes forever with TNA. Total non-stop action. History in the making. 52 weeks every Wednesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern. Top NWA superstars from around the world. Guest celebrities in the ring. And the luscious TNA girls. It's only $9.95. TNA. Every Wednesday starting June 19th. Wednesday nights will never be the same. Call your local cable operator or satellite provider to order.
Introducing first, he is your challenger. Accompanied to the ring by Wildside CEO, Mr. Jeff G. Bailey. Hailing from Macon, Georgia, weighing in at 202 pounds, he is the
More than a a few people believe that Jason Cross, in so many respects, is the future of professional wrestling, AJ Styles notwithstanding. All arguments aside, I think it's safe to say that Jeff G. Bailey has the find of the century in Jason Cross. What an acquisition it is. And Jason Cross has been under the employ of Jeff Bailey for quite some time. And Cross is getting his opportunity here this evening, however hand-picked it may be from CEO Jeff G. Bailey. But he gets that shot at the Messiah of the Spinebuster, the Wildside Heavyweight Champ, David Young. One of the most well-respected and well-loved Wildside champions of all time. David Young, this guy has been to the bottom, the depths of professional wrestling, and now has elevated himself to some incredible highs. And career goals have finally been met. The Wildside Heavyweight Champ. A handful in anybody's category. And anybody who, wait a second. NWA VP Bill Behrens has just walked down the ramp with a referee shirt on, and he's sending Andrew Thomas out of the ring. A superb executive decision from Bill Behrens. Oh, a shoving match between Andrew Thomas and Bill Behrens. Winner, Bill Behrens. The plot thickens, and this is a super and an ultra positive development in a match that we've seen all too often, with Andrew Thomas figuring in prominently with all the cards falling on the side of Jeff G. Bailey. This is an exciting development, Dan.
The last time these two individuals met in the middle of the ring, it was Andrew Thomas and Bill Behrens that were involved in the ending. What a controversy. Andrew Thomas's screw job and Blackout's involvement. Thought we saw Jason Cross awarded the Wildside Heavyweight title. Bill Behrens restarted the match. He wasn't going to have it, not for the Wildside Heavyweight title. David Young hit the spine buster and he pinned Jason Cross. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Bill Behrens was attacked viciously by the Iceberg and the NWA Elite. He's now back to officiate this matchup as the Law and Order to make sure that this contest between two modern gladiators is not ruined by pomp and circumstance. It's not ruined by outside interference. The vice president of the oldest and largest sanctioning body is the official. He's your special referee, Bill Behrens.
In other words, if Jason Cross feels like he's going to win this match, he's going to have to earn it. He's going to have to do it on his own. I know he can do it. He's perfectly capable of doing it.
Jason Cross, David Young squaring each other up, sizing one another out, collar and elbow tie-up in the center of the ring. Both men fighting for leverage. Waist lock by Jason Cross. David Young trying to fight out. He possesses a power advantage over Jason Cross. Jason Cross possesses the agility advantage. But it's not necessarily going to be a battle of flip-flop and fly versus power because they can both do it. German suplex attempt. Cross lands on his feet, laces him with a pair of kicks, and make it 2 right hands to the side of the head. Hell, make it 3. The role model Jason Cross, the aggressor early. Reversal by David Young. Drop down, up and over goes Cross. Leapfrog by David Young. Cross barely slides under. Up and over to his feet goes Jason Cross. Young off the ropes. Leapfrog by Jason Cross. Leapfrog, he goes for a Hurricane Rana. David Young's not having it. He's powering, bomb spinning, sit out, Liger bomb.
Good heavens! Jason Cross wisely rolls out of the ring, destroying the momentum ever so briefly of the Wildside Heavyweight Champion, David Young. Young needs to take that momentum back ASAP.
This matchup containing a 1 hour time limit. This is certainly going to be a winner in this sport, in this athletic contest to determine who is the top competitor in NWA Wildside. David Young has Jason Cross up on the floor. Gorilla press, slam hard onto the entrance ramp.
That may take a lot of the attack away from the role model Jason Cross. But David Young, you're not going to defeat Jason Cross outside the ring. Mind you now, David Young being the champion, he doesn't have to defeat Jason Cross.
No, he doesn't, but he's going to because David Young's an honorable champion.
That's just the way he
fights because he is fighting for his livelihood, for his sport, to become the best that he can be. Springboard corkscrew senton off the guardrail by the role model Jason Cross onto the Wildside Heavyweight Champion David Young. The integrity of David Young is so high. If you remember, Rick Michaels was involved in a matchup costing AJ Styles' Wildside Heavyweight title to David Young. Because he wanted 30, he didn't want it. He gave the title back to Styles. David Young wants to be champion as a fighting, winning wrestler.
And he's got that in spades.
Jason Cross coming to the outside.
Jason Cross has officially been classified as an unidentified flying object by NASA. That's just the way he is. An amazing athlete. We will continue on with this championship match right after this. Hang with us.
On June 19th, professional wrestling changes forever with TNA. Total non-stop action. History in the making. 52 weeks every Wednesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern. Top NWA superstars from around the world. Guest celebrities in the ring. And the luscious TNA girls. It's only $9.95. TNA. Every Wednesday starting June 19th. Wednesday nights will never be the same. Call your local cable operator or satellite provider to order.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm Dan the Dragon Wilson along with Stephen Prazak. You're watching the NWA Wildside Heavyweight title match. Jason Cross goes for an Asai moonsault. Nobody home. David Young goes for one of his own, and he connects. And the weight of David Young, much more forceful, 246 rock-solid pounds onto Jason Cross.
And Cross falls down in a heap. However, the reason it's a high-risk maneuver, it could adversely affect the man doing it as well as the man receiving it, just as much. But Young has endured a lot of punishment. So has Jason Cross, for that matter. But Young is a man of much ingenuity and much power.
Well, the smarter wrestler of the matchup, I'm going to have to say, is David Young, simply because he's got 12 years experience and he's fighting for the heavyweight title. We know Jason Cross, while one of the most talented athletes in all the universe, is a true showboat. And tonight, if his showboating gets the best of him, he's not going to come out Wildside Heavyweight Champion. Neckbreaker by the role model.
Jason Cross is also arguably the more creative of the two. I mean, literally every Jason Cross match you see gives you something that you have never ever seen before. Not just in any Jason Cross match, but in any match, period, all over the industry of professional wrestling. That's the caliber of athlete that Jason Cross is in. And he is a handful and a half. And David Young is finding out firsthand this week in your main event on NWA Wildside.
Well, Jeff G. Bailey is a lot of things. He's a slime ball. He's crooked. Some call him the devil himself, but one thing he is not is a fool. He knows Jason Cross is one of the most talented blue chip athletes in the industry, and he knows that with his mental direction and his pushing behind Jason Cross and his psychological advantage that he provides his men in the NWA Elite, he knows that Jason Cross is going to be a success. Pinning combination by David Young. Jason Cross kicks out.
And both these athletes are going to wonder who is going to be the Wildside Heavyweight Champion going into Freedom Fight 2002. Oh my God!
Cross went for an enziguri. David Young countered the first one. Cross came back with a counter and a reverse enziguri.
Clocked him right on the temple.
And there's the running shooting star for the role model. This could be, oh no!
Cross is remarkable. Cross is a remarkable athlete, but a lot of fighting power left in the Messiah, the Spinebuster, David Young. Happily, we have NWA Vice President Bill Behrens as the special guest referee in this match. Obviously, fair play should be reigning supreme. In theory, at least.
Crowd firmly behind the Wildside Heavyweight Champion. David Young has him in the Dragon Sleeper, or Jason Cross has Dragon Sleeper, reverse DDT onto the knee. Roll of the dice by Jason Cross. The role model's going to the top, Steven.
I think they should have pinned him right there. He's not going up to the top.
That's what I talked about, the showboating earlier. Jason Cross will sometimes rather go for that high-risk move, frog splash, and it connected.
Yeah,
but he hit him so hard, Jason Cross may have felt the run as well.
Sometimes the payoff can sometimes bite you on the butt. Cross slowly making on top of David Young. Woo.
It couldn't have been any closer, Steve.
It certainly could not have been.
It couldn't have been any closer. We were a quarter of a centimeter. We're having a new Wildside heavyweight champion. David Young's got Jason Cross. I think he looked like he was trying to go for the spine buster. Cross pushed out at the last second. David Young still managed to drive him into the mat, but not with quite the force he wanted to or intended to.
Very important defensive maneuver from Jason Cross. He does not want to be subject to that spine buster. After that spine buster, all that is left is the 3 count, and I think the role model realizes that more than anyone.
Irish whip into the far corner. Jason Cross is in the turnbuckle. He is reeling. He's had a lot taken out of him, but he gets out of the way. David Young into the top turnbuckle. I don't know what he was going for, but it doesn't matter because it didn't pay off. David Young almost landing on his head, cutting a 360-degree rotation.
Young flying into that top turnbuckle upside down, hoping to take out the role model. No such luck. Oh, a shoving match between Bill Behrens and Jason Cross. Probably not a good career move there, role model.
Bill Behrens isn't taking any guff here as the official.
Hey, when you're on part of the board of the NWA, you take enough guff. He's not going to put up any with this week here. The main event on NWA Wildside. Thanks for joining us. Oh my God, swift kick to the head of the champion, David Young.
Right to the temple. And he follows it up with a high leg lariat, focusing his point of attack with the same basic premise. Jason Cross, good God, corkscrew standing moonsault.
Young rolls a shoulder in the nick of time. And the frustration is really beginning to set on the face of the role model, Jason Cross. And Jeff G. Bailey doesn't look particularly happy at that as well.
No, he doesn't. Jason Cross has David Young. He's got him high in the air, brain buster. David Young's vertebrae smashed, compressed, crunched. David Young could be gone. This could be it. Jason Cross, why does he not take the time to pin him? There is the cockiness. There is the arrogance. There is the showboat, show-stealing quality of Jason Cross. If he'd went for the pin there, David Young would have lost the match. He was knocked out cold for 3 seconds, I know. But David Young shaking it off unbelievably, going to the top rope, and he's got Jason Cross hooked. Top rope spine buster.
Where Young got that from is almost as miraculous as some power right to the eyes of the champion, David Young. Referee Bill Behrens did not see the powder. Oh, you wouldn't have to look too far to see some signs of it.
That's one of the damned oldest tricks in the book, but that doesn't mean it didn't work.
Terrific. Oh my God, David Young, not realizing he had Bill Behrens in his clutches, just gave referee Bill Behrens a spine buster. This is not turning out properly at all. What's Bailey doing?
What the hell?
What is he?
Oh, I can smell it.
No.
I can smell that from here.
What
is ether. Oh, it's ether. Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's the hat trick of powder and ether. Jeff Bailey is knocking out David Young. Oh God. We were hoping Bill Behrens being involved in this match would add an element of fair play here. But Bailey has seen to it that doesn't be the case at all.
This is the biggest load of horse crap I've ever seen in my life. Not like this, damn it to hell!
Oh my God! It appears like we have a new Wildside heavyweight champion in Jason Cross. Can this be? Can this be? Referee Andrew Thomas, who's not the referee of record though, is raising the hand of Jason Cross.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and new Wildside heavyweight champion, the role model, Jason Cross.
I mean, Andrew Thomas is the senior official, so I mean, there is some value in his decision here, but of course we all know where his priorities lie. But it took powder and the old ether on the rag trick, older than the hills on Grandma's chest, but suffice to say, effective, and Jeff Bailey's dream, and I think Jason Cross's dreams have finally been realized. Cross has defeated, apparently, David Young to become the new Wildside heavyweight champion. Say it ain't so, Dan.
I am disgusted, but I can't say I'm surprised. We knew Jeff G. Bailey would go to any length, to any form of treachery, to win that Wildside heavyweight title for Jason Cross. And Jason Cross didn't even need the damn help. He is that talented. He's that good.
Yes, he is, but he didn't need the powder. He didn't need the ether. But the point is moot. Apparently, Jason Cross, the role model, the new NWA Wildside heavyweight champion.
Jeff, it's about time. It's about damn time. Bill Behrens, you've held me back long enough. Now it's time for me to prove to the world that I'm the greatest Wildside heavyweight champion of all time.
He's not just the Wildside heavyweight champion, he's the world heavyweight champion, because there's not a wrestler in the world better than this man. I've told you people before, he's got the best high spots in the business. He can mat wrestle. He's a shooter and he's a hooker. And I'm not talking about like your mother, David Young. Tonight was a proving ground for Jason Cross, and he proved to the whole world that he is the greatest athlete you people have ever seen. And now, not just Wildside, Jason, but he's headed up to Philadelphia, best of the best too, and this man is gonna represent Wildside. And what that means for all you Philadelphia retards is you are gonna have the treat of a lifetime, and that is the opportunity to witness the greatness of Jason Cross. He's gonna go down to that dilapidated building you call the CZW Arena and walk through everybody on your roster. Bring them in from all over the world, it doesn't matter. Jason Cross is the superior athlete. And Bill Behrens, you yanked the belt off of him the first time, and you tried to screw him tonight with your special referee and those ridiculous slow counts. He had David Young beat at least 5 times before he pinned him. But it doesn't matter. There's not a damn thing you can do, Behrens, because Jason Cross is the world heavyweight champion. And bring whoever you want for freedom fight, because Jason Cross is gonna walk in the champion, and he's gonna walk out the champion.